there and welcome to Apple World. It appears as though we were completely off base about your Miami circumstance with Diddy since she isn't the casualty we thought she was, Gina Huyn. Diddy's long-term side piece has ventured forward, uncovering how Miami united with Diddy to hurt her while she was in a situationship with Diddy. Turns out, Gina got through a treatment shockingly like everything Cassie went through, and let me say to you, the proof Gina offers that would be useful is downright stunning. It seems to be Diddy's preparation for another legitimate tempest, since this present circumstance is going to stir things up around town, no doubt. So recall all those discussions about how young Miami ought to avoid Diddy, since he may be treating her the way that he did. Cassie was really stressed, figuring she may be his next target, yet shocked. It turns out Miami wasn't simply a lady in that frame of mind. A long way from it, she knew precisely what Diddy was about when it came to ladies and stunners. She really assumed a part in his tricks. Might you at any point accept it? And this isn't simply some talk factory-produced tattle. No. Diddy's ex-girlfriend Gina Huyn is moving forward with certain serious claims against both Diddy and Miami. Furthermore, she pointed fingers at Miami, also guaranteeing that she was not too far off in the blend, supporting and abetting the entire wreck. After Cassie documented that claim, it was basically a cat-and-mouse game for the conduits to open. I mean, with the stuff Cassie spilled in there, it was clear she wasn't the only one on the less than desirable end of Diddy's mercilessness. It then, at that point, proceeded to list an extremely considerable rundown of occasions in which he hurt her and her youngster. It was more terrible than we might at any point envision in the claim Cassie spread out, how Diddy was fixated on overwhelming and controlling her, guaranteeing that he would go as far as any low to keep up with that hold in any event, depending on slipping her substances to guarantee that she did. All that he needed when he needed it and how he needed it. Cassie described how he'd maneuver her toward taking stuff despite her desire to the contrary. A contorted strategy pointed toward holding her powerless to resist him, and when it came to control, Diddy took it to one more level by controlling Cassie's clinical records. There was the time where she really wanted an X-ray, subsequent to persevering through his actual hostility and being siphoned brimming with such countless substances that her memory began to flounder. It's chilling. Demonstration of the degree of control and abuse she persevered at his hands right now. Obviously, Cassie was not the primary lady that Diddy had harmed, in light of the fact that he appeared to be really competent at it. Take, for example, his relationship with his most memorable child, Misa Hilton. As per reports, Diddy was very forceful with her, and he would put paws on her over the most insignificant thing. What's even more disturbing is that he wasn't even terrified to get physical with her out in the open, as per his previous guardian, Jean Bouquet. There was one particularly horrendous occurrence where Diddy's hostility towards Misa was extreme to such an extent that she looked for shelter under a vehicle to get away from his indignation. When M was out there, she was screwing with the fella from EPMD. That is the reason. Kim Watchman, the mother of Diddy's 4 kids, confronted a comparable, horrendous trial. Diddy's hostility towards her was tireless, bringing about noticeable injuries all over her body, and in one, especially upsetting episode, their contention was raised to the point where he broke her nose. As a matter of fact, an article from 2005 discusses Diddy's better half. Kim Watchman was left with a wrecked nose after the couple on Charles' yacht in St. Tropez flew in an expert plastic specialist from Geneva. After the mishap, Watchman has since guaranteed that she hurt her face after she hit her nose against a table. However, Diddy's abuse of Kim didn't stop there. Stunning charges arose, proposing he supposedly exposed her to the debasing demonstration of licking Cassie's pre-owned tampon for setting. There was a crossover among Kim and Cassie, and Diddy's lies and Cassie was his side piece anyway. It's vital to stress that Cassie was likewise a casualty in this present circumstance, and no part of that was her shortcoming. At last, Kim began retaliating at Diddy, and John Bargan uncovered that she contended energetically when they were at home at Kim's home on 110th Road. He needed to, put his hands on her in the incorrect manner, and Kim took one of those court botches, tore his wrist, and hit a vein. When she did that, he needed to rush over to St. Luke's emergency clinic, so it's not all shocking that Diddy's opposite side piece, Gina Huyn, is also blaming him for exactly the same thing, discussing Tasha K. Gina uncovered exactly how gravely Diddy treated her. He began being an ask, so like I say, like the initial 3.5 years he was like malicious toward me. So at the point when you say mean depict it, he resembled continuously disparaging me and consistently. He was like, intellectually, sincerely, and genuinely me did he mem. It's not whenever we first heard that there was an episode, obviously with Cassie, where columnists are saying that the police were called in like. Added the fact that they got into a quarrel I think it was like 2 or quite a while back, everything being equal. Let me know a portion of the things that he would agree to you. He would constantly contrast me with Cassie and let me know that I'm the terrible one and she's the great one. And he was with both of you all simultaneously. Definitely she additionally uncovered that she had gotten pregnant with his child 2 times. However, he generally constrained her to dispose of it now. When we talked an evening or 2 ago, you said that, things had gotten so serious that you became pregnant not once yet 2 times, right? Yes. Okay, whenever you first became pregnant with a Diddy's kid? The initial time was, October 2014, okay? So this resembled what a year after. Not a year, but rather because I met him in February, and afterward I got pregnant in October. Very similar to that very year. Okay? And you mind letting me know what occurred with that pregnancy? Well, I don't have to worry after we just, and I needed to. It was like attempting to demonstrate that I wasn't the young lady who needed him for cash. I gave it a second thought about him. However, the insane part is that she likewise implied that he was in good company to hurt her, since young Miami additionally played a part. Fans have been conjecturing about this for quite a while. What's more, it's all a result of Miami's words and activities via web-based entertainment. I mean, do you all recall that chaotic battle that they had via virtual entertainment last year? And everything began when Gina posted this image of Diddy kissing her on the cheek? Miami could have done without this, and she took to Twitter to blame Gina for her clout in pursuing it, saying someone should kindly offer this honeybee some consideration. Gina answered on her Instagram stories, composing, assuming anybody is looking for consideration. It's you sucking my D. I don't give a F. Miami then guaranteed that Gina was attempting to involve her for clout, and she said because I'm the consideration. How about we be clear in notifying me if it's not too much trouble? Be sure to plunk down. We see you loosening up. It's okay. You've been around for quite a while. You've been looking out for this second on the off chance that he can't put you on the map. I ain't contending with no honeybee that got modest build-up ball cover in their home. Gina answered Miami, explaining why you so squeezed, mother. I thought you were a city young lady. Miami hit back, saying I am, and that is the reason I F with your man and ain't falling off him. It doesn't matter to me the number of pictures you posted. Get that head of bread and leave. As per a few reports, Gina has been bringing up how Miami generally has a clean white nail each time she's with Diddy. Gina additionally asserted that Miami would direct their activities during their experiences, and it appears that there's been proof of this looking straight at us from the beginning during one warmed trade between Gina and Miami, which even went to the extent of compromising her with an oddity she composed. Assuming I believed you should eat my pee, Diddy would have had you kneeling down. You an eater, Gina. You've been down terrible since I came into the image. You've been weeping for a child for quite some time. You've been around as a honeybee that eats P&D when he feels like it. You are an eater. You are the very honeybee that was crying on Tasha K because you needed a child. Unfortunate sushi. In those days, we got over it with simple words. Without giving it much thought yet, with all that we realize now, it's become evident that Miami is similarly a very remarkable culprit as Diddy. It's marvelous to understand that every one of the signs was there directly before us, but we fizzled to draw an obvious conclusion. Gina's disclosures have been severely impacted, and fans left remarks saying, "Young Miami." Subscribe Apple World for more videos.